Michael leans back against the table in fear, but as he now faces the man sees a commune tattoo on Michael's head and lowers his gun. The man speaks to Michael. "Welcome, my friend. Sorry if I startled you. I was not sure who you were until you turned to face me. I believe you have a package for me?" "What? Who are you? I'm not meant to meet anyone here," says Michael. Yes, I know, young man. I'm running a bit late, but you seem to be very early, may I add." "Where's a letter? I'm here for a letter, not a chat," says Michael. Hey, sharp tongue, young Michael," says the man. "Huh? How do you know—" Calm down. Here is your letter. Now my package, please," says the man. Michael takes the letter and passes the man the package. "Who are you? What's this all about?" says Michael. The man places the package on a wooden chair, then begins to take off his hat, then his face cloak. He then takes his long coat off and drapes it over the back of the chair. "I, young Michael, am Alonio Martin." "Martin?" says Michael. "Yes, Alonio Martin, brother of your commune elder Curtis Martin." Then Alonio picks up the package and begins to unwrap it. "And this is all about this." "Bread? I risk my neck for that?" Alonio pulls out a loaf of bread from the package and holds it at arm's length. Alonio continues to speak. "Bread." Alonio pulls apart the bread in two halves to reveal pieces of folded up paper inside. "Bread and information. Delicate information." Michael, shocked, shouts, "What? What the hell is going on? I got up this morning to clear my head, to get a bit of fresh air and go for a walk. I've already almost been eaten by savage dogs, chased and held at gunpoint." "And it is only going to get worse, young man," says Alonio. "I'm sorry, worse you say," replies Mike. Alonio turns away and places the bread and packaging on the chair. "I'm sorry, Michael. Please ignore my comments," he says. Alonio then keeps his back to Michael, with his arms folded. Michael looks at the envelope Alonio gave him and shakes his head. He reads the words, "Private, commune elders' eyes only," written on the back. "Private? Is that all I'm going to know, that this is private? I could have been killed today. Please, what is going on? How come Curtis has an unknown brother who lives in the outer city, receiving and passing secret letters to one another? This just doesn't make sense." The great Michael, so we finally meet, Alonius quietly says to himself, arms still folded, looking up at the ceiling. "What?" shouts Michael. Alonio turns to face Michael. Alonio speaks. "Yes, I am Curtis's brother. Yes, I live in the outer city. I am the commune's eyes and ears in the city. The reason I was late getting here delivering this month's report was because some late additions had to be made. Some very important additions." Alonio, with his arms still folded and a look of uncertainty on his face, makes eye contact with Michael. "You know of the snakes, don't you, Michael? The snake gang, also known as the opposite," says Alonio. "Yeah, those crazy no-hopers the gunruns protect us all from. They just seem to thrive on causing pain and trouble in the city. What of them?" says Michael. Alonio speaks again. "Well, Michael, it has come my way that they have a very dangerous plan, a devastating plan, a plan that will affect all life here in the city. Michael, you must not relay this information to anyone. You mustn't even tell the elders I've told you. You promise me." Alonio has a look of worry on his face. Mike replies, I promise. What is it that's terrifying you so much?" Alonio moves the bread and packaging to the table and sits down on the chair. He leans forward, placing his elbows on his knees and holding his hands together in front of his face as if praying. He looks at one of his lit candles on the table. He then says, "Every now and then, as you should know, the government troops turn up in their vehicles to survey the city and kidnap the odd person. Fortunately, they haven't ventured out to our part of the city before, but they do often visit what's believed to be snake gang territory. And if you've ever seen the soldiers' vehicles and the soldiers themselves, you know that they have some very dangerous and deadly looking weapons. No one in their right minds would attack the government vehicles and the patrols, but unfortunately the snakes are not in their right minds. I have noticed that each time the government soldiers return to the city, the numbers grow fewer and fewer. They may also know, or should I say, think, there is no threat to them with their superior weaponry, so they bring less with them each visit. I've also noticed a pattern in the times which they come. Some should arrive in the next few days, and unfortunately I'm not the only one who has noticed this. The snakes have done their homework." Alonio shakes his head and looks at Michael. "And I have got wind that the snake gang plan to ambush the government troops when they arrive," says Alonio. "My God!" replies Michael. They seem to think they will defeat the troops and steal their weapons. They plan to use weapons to wreak havoc on the city, the bloody fools," says Alonio. "But if they succeed, with those kinds of weapons, we're all done for. They already cause major problems with what they have now," says Michael. Michael. Oh dear Michael, says Alonio, as he stands up and puts his hands on his head and sighs. If they do succeed, it's not the snakes we have to worry about, my boy, he says. I'm sorry, what do you mean? Replies Michael. Alonio turns back to Michael and folds his arm again, and shakes his head. Those who send the vehicles, Michael, if they realise their patrol has been wiped out, I dread to think, says Alonio. Suddenly, a dog can be heard barking outside. The atmosphere in the room gets unsettled as boots stomp past. Michael turns round and Alonio springs to his feet and looks to the door. The boots and dog seem to run on down the alleyway away from the room Michael and Alonio are in. Alonio walks over to Michael and places his hands on Michael's shoulders. Remember, Michael, keep this to yourself. The time will come for people to know about this. Okay, I promise, Alonio, Michael says as he looks down at the letter in his hand and shakes his head in disbelief. He looks back to Alonio. I promise, Michael sighs. Take care, young Michael. Be strong. Alonio walks to the table and unfolds the papers that were concealed within the bread. Michael leaves and shuts the door. He looks at the envelope and puts it in his pocket. He then checks the map, then puts it away. He jumps the fence and walks down a cluttered alleyway. He makes a left turn to another alley junction and jumps the fence when he hears a clanging noise coming from around the corner. Michael sneaks to the edge of the wall and peers round the corner. He sees two men crouched down looking suspicious. Then another man jumps out from a building window and joins them. It's no good. It's too well guarded. Let's come back at nightfall, says one of the men. The men have blackened faces and dark clothes, but have red cloaks or face coverings. Michael recognises them as members of the snake gang. Not sure to call out to raise the alarm, he then notices that they have guns on them and quickly draws his head back. Quick, let's get out of here while we can. The men lift up a manhole cover and climb down the manhole. Michael peers round the corner to see the manhole lid slide shut. He cautiously makes his way past the manhole cover as he nervously keeps his eyes on it. Then he leaves the alleyway and comes back to a wide road. Michael continues his route back to the commune following the map, comes back to the alleyway leading to the commune. The man who was asleep earlier is now sat down and joined by a younger, stockier looking man. Well, looky here, pretty little Bible boy wants to join the party, cackles the older man. The stockier man stands up and crosses his arms and frowns at Michael. What do you want, punk? Says the stockier man. Look, just let me past, okay? Says Michael. Oh no, this is my alley, Donny's alley, and you will need to feed the pass here, my friend. The older man cackles as he rubs his hands together. He then gets up and puts his hand on the taller, stockier man's shoulder. Heh heh heh. Pay now, and you may pass. What you got? What you got? Yeah, freak. What you got for us? Says the other man. The older, skinny man surrounds Michael and circles him, scanning his body for goods. Ah, what's this? The older man reaches out to Michael's pocket with his bony hands. Back off. Michael turns and smacks the creep's hands away. Hey! The stockier man lunges at Michael. Michael darts to the side and punches the man in the side of the face. The skinny creep jumps up and down laughing and clapping as the stockier man turns round rubbing his face. Now you've done it, Bible boy. Now you've made me mad. The stocky man screams and runs at Michael and grabs hold of him by the waist and rams him into the wall. The man begins to lift Michael up, bear hugging him. Michael responds by using his elbows to pummel the man's back, neck and shoulders. The man hurt by this hurls Michael away, forcing him to crash into the creep's flimsy wooden shelter, breaking it to pieces. Oh no, no! Screams the skinny man. The stocky man tenses his body up and screams in a kind of war cry. Michael begins to scramble through the debris of the demolished wooden shelter. The large man turns away and picks up a dustbin. Michael picks up a wooden post and leaps to his feet, the creep anxiously watching in the background. The stocky man screams again as he turns to face Michael. Thud! Michael thrusts the post into the man's face. The man drops the bin and stumbles back. His nose and mouth begin to bleed. He staggers on his feet and swings his arms out in an attempt to hit Michael. Whack! Michael swings the post and whacks the man in the jaw. The man crashes into the wall and falls to the ground. Oh no, no, no! Screams the skinny man. Michael, gasping, turns round to the creep. Creep begins to walk backwards, then turns to run down the alleyway. Then, as he comes to the junction, a figure emerges around the corner and punches him flat in the face, causing him to fly on his back, knocked out. The figure applauds. It is Tara. She is dressed in blue and black, as she too is a gunroom. Nice moves, Mike. You should come to the fighting hall sometime, she says. Tara? Michael drops a wooden post and stares at the female gunroom as he catches his breath. How long have you been there? He says. Long enough to see you're in no real trouble. Tara looks down at the unconscious man. Long enough to see you unleash the beast within, Tara says sarcastically. Damn, Michael, look at his face. Tara smiles a cocky smile. You mean you could have helped me? Michael says. Tara takes a step back and raises her hands. Hey, a woman should never interfere in a man's work. I believe that, Tara says, being sarcastic again. Michael turns round and unlocks a padlock on the iron door. He walks through, followed by Tara. Hey, you know there's no weapons allowed in here, Mike says. Tara moves her assault rifle to her side under her cloak. Bull. The commune guards have them, so I can. I'm a bloody gunrum. I have to look after the whole city outside of the dead zone, not just this little patch. Mike snaps back at Tara. Damn it, Tara, you just can't come in here breaking the rules, you know. Tara replies. Well, you're a bunch of fun today, aren't you? Where's Sam? I want to make sure she's okay. And what are you doing outside the commune anyway? Michael locks the padlock. Sam's probably at home. I had to... Never mind. Look, I got to deliver something. Don't mention this to Sam, okay? About the fight and me being out of the commune. Tara replies. Yeah, whatever. See you in a bit. Tara begins to walk down a road, catching the attention of a couple of commune folk. It's a lot busier in the commune now, and much brighter as the dawn has long passed. The morning mist has cleared up, and people are going about their daily business. Michael watches Tara walk off, shakes his head slowly and smiles. He then looks at the keys and takes Lonio's letter from his pocket and looks at it. Phew, what a morning, he says to himself. Michael walks through the commune and catches the attention of various people. He looks as if he has been dragged around with his torn and stained clothes and his scratched arms and swollen hand. He looks a right state. Michael gets up to the elder's house and knocks on the door. Who is it? Shouts a well-spoken voice. Michael Edwards, I have your letter, Michael replies. Ah, just a moment. The door bolts click and a well-dressed brown-skinned man opens the door. It is Curtis, one of the commune elders, and he looks just like his brother Alonio. I say, young man, are you all right? Curtis looks up and down at Michael. Yeah, I'm fine, just fine, Michael says as he passes the letter. Oh, I see. Well, thank you, young man. You sure you don't want a commune nurse to look you over? Says Curtis. No thanks. My reward? Replies Michael. Yes, your reward is with Miss Jasmine in the commune hall. Just ask her for it. Oh, and the keys? Michael stares at Curtis and hands him the keys. Ah, thank you. Michael turns and begins to walk away. Curtis is frowning and staring at Michael, wondering what happened to him. Curtis then snaps out of his gaze. Oh, and Michael? Michael turns round to face Curtis. Sam stopped by here earlier. She's been looking for you. She said for you to meet her at Rubble Hill. I told her that I'd tell you if I saw you. Michael looks over at the hill. Thanks, replies Michael. That's all right. Well, goodbye. With that, then Curtis closes the door. Michael faces Rubble Hill and sets off towards it. Michael gets to the top of the hill and sees Sam sat on a ledge, swinging her legs about and looking over the city out to the desert. Michael sneaks up behind her and kneels down and kisses her on the neck. Sam jumps up, then giggles and turns round to Michael. Michael! Oh, Michael! What's happened? Mike lays back and rests his head on one hand and puts the other on his chest. Sam turns away from Michael and hangs her feet over the edge again and looks down at them. I knew something was wrong this morning when you got up so early. I knew something bad was going to happen, Sam said. Sam, I'm okay. Just relax, beautiful. Michael puts his arm over his face, blocking out the sunlight from his eyes. But you're not, are you? You just said so yourself. You've got a lot on your mind. Well, tell me about it. We've got to get through this together. You can't stop blocking me out, Michael. What is it? The nightmares? Are they getting worse? Says Sam. Michael goes to reply to Sam. Sam, I just... But then Tara arrives, interrupting them. There you are. What are you two lovebirds doing up here on your own, or need I ask? Ha ha ha, says Tara. Shut up, Tara. This is not a good time, says Sam, as she looks down at her feet. God's sake! What's wrong with you people? I thought this was the happy clappy commune. You lot stand for peace and love, don't you? Or don't you? You could have bloody fooled me. Everyone is so stressed and bitchy. And Sam, you of all people. What's with this place? Tara exclaims. Michael sighs and Tara looks down at him. Yo, Mike, how's your hand? Michael, still led down, with his arm over his head, lifts his hand up and wiggles it around. Yeah, it's okay. Sam looks at Michael, then up at Tara. She says to Tara, Look, I'm sorry, Tara. I didn't mean to snap. Tara replies, No problem. So how are the kids doing anyway? Oh, okay. Some of them are acting peculiar though. They don't move, they don't make any sound when you try to talk to them as per usual, but... Michael moves his hand away from his face and looks at Sam with a frown. Michael says to Tara, They all face the same direction, Tara. Day or night, they all sit cross-legged on the floor, facing the window towards the alleyway. It's real weird. Shut up, Michael! They're not weird, just different, Sam shouts. Huh? Not weird? Come on, Sam. Listen to this, Tara. If you pick them up and face them in different directions away from the window... After a while, they all get up at the same time without making a sound and face the window again. But trying to get them to react to you, to even bat an eyelid, is impossible. You can't scare them, you can't tickle them, it's a mission to feed them and wash them. Nope, they just sit there like zombies, all time, staring into space, until you pick them up and turn them around. That's it, I tell you, it freaks me out. Michael! Screams Sam. Sam leaps up, runs off crying. Michael sits up. Sam, come on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean... Damn, she gets so worked up about those kids, says Michael. Is it true though, what you said about them, replies Tara. Huh? Yeah, honest Tara, it gives me the chills watching them. They don't speak or make a sound to each other, they just all get up and turn around at the same time. Holy shit, I got to see this, says Tara. Maybe another time. I don't think Sam's going to be too happy if you go back and start moving them about. Yeah, especially not with the mood you've put her in, you plank, says Tara. Michael looks up at Tara and the mood changes. Tara looks at Michael in the eyes and frowns. Hey, I was only kidding. What's up? What's with the stern look? Tara says. Can I ask you something? Replies Michael. Tara kneels down and looks puzzled. Mike then says, do you ever dream about when we were little, when a desert commune got raided? Michael, no. No I don't. No. She shakes her head. Tara, why did you leave us? Why did you leave the city commune? You know why, Michael. I wanted to protect the city from the snakes. Michael, you've got to leave the past behind you. Our parents, our home in the desert, are dead and gone. They are nothing but a bunch of painful memories. You need to open your eyes and look around you. Look to the present. Look to the future. Mike says, yes, Hoto would say we need to look to the present, but he also told us our future is rooted in our past. Ah, Hoto, says Tara. Tara stands up and folds her arms. Hoto was no angel. He was no spiritual being. He was a goddamn alien, plain and simple. It was easy for him to brainwash our people with his fancy tricks out there in the little desert community, miles away from anywhere, our parents stuck in the middle of nowhere with no hope, no guidance. Along comes Hoto with his so-called teachings and spiritual powers. Michael leaps to his feet. Michael shouts, if it wasn't for Hoto's teaching and wisdom, our parents would have died a long time ago out in that desert. It's lucky he found them when he did. Tara snaps. But our parents did die out in that desert, didn't they, Michael? Haven't you ever wondered, if Hoto wasn't with us back then, maybe the commune wouldn't have been attacked? Anyhow, if he was so powerful, so psychic, why didn't he warn our people to attack? Go on, answer that. He did, says Michael. He just thought it was going to be a long way off. They caught us by surprise. His spirit guides must have... The prophecy must have been altered. Oh, get real, Mike. I'm not listening to this prophecy nonsense. Spirit guides. I love you, Mike, but leave the past in the past and take it from me. Leave it. And with that, Tara struts off in a mood, leaving Michael on the hill on his own.